right? So it's
Right,
just,
right, right,
so I
right.
think it's all about, again, a part of my solution, right, would be
Mhm.
to slow down, to
Mhm.
not be excited and show that enthusiasm, but still use my words wisely to where the few words that I do get out because I say so fast, make those words important. Right? Make those
Right,
target
right.
points, make those words hit when I say this,
That's right.
this, rather than a bunch of just jargon, right? And so I
That's right.
know, so
That's
that's going
right.
to be my particular solution, right? Because I can see. I don't look in the mirror and say, "Oh man, I'm perfect. There's nothing wrong with me." No, I have to.
That's right.
I fix and repair myself daily, man. I have to
That's
in order
right.
to be in the field that I'm in, as far as motivational speaking and income shifting and economic empowerment, and all that kind of stuff. If I'm raggedy all at all seams, then I'm no good to nobody, right? So
That's right.
I'm
That's
my
right.
own problem. Right, I'm
That's
going
right.
there talking about keep on pushing and think about a radio and all about this, and I'm walking around a freaking wreck because I
Right.
haven't
Right.
looked at myself and said, you know what, I can do better. I can do this
Right.
better. I can do shows better. I can have better
Right.
conversations. We can have better questions. I can have better dialogue, right? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's all about, again, self-evaluation as far as, not pointing a finger all the time at somebody else.
That's
Because
right.
most of the time, if we fix ourselves, we'll fix everything else. If we fix
That's
ourselves, we'll fix
that's right.
everything else, man.
That's right.
I'm a firm believer in that.
Challenging yourself, and you hit on some good points. I remember Farrakhan, he went to Prairie View, and I understand what he was saying. He was saying he made a statement, bro. It was a bold statement he made, and he was saying that if you're a psychology major, you need to change your major. And a lot of people are going to be offended by it, but I understand that too. But you got to understand from another perspective. See, it's all about perspective, as you're saying.
Yeah.
And what he was basically saying is that he went on to explain that we got a lifetime of dealing with our own selves. And just going back to what you're saying, the progress in work. And we got to always keep that in mind. We're all a progress in work. We're not a finished product, and we'll never be a finished product. We go to another development. Even when we pass on, we go to another development. So it's never ending, bro. You know what I mean? We all, if we have room for growth, because if we stop growing, that's when we really die. It's just like that butterfly. It's a caterpillar before it's a butterfly. So the caterpillar has to die off in order to become a
For
butterfly.
the butterfly to live, yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
in other words, I was listening to that brother Jay-Z. He was talking about, he got that song called Kill Jay-Z. But I didn't know what he was saying. But he was saying, if you listen to the song, he say, really, what I'm saying is kill that part of me that's stopping me from growing as in all aspects and walks of life, spiritually, mentally, physically. That's what he was basically saying. So we got to kill that part. In order to kill and stop something from growing that's bad, you got to cut the root off. It don't matter. If you don't get to that root of it,
It's going to grow again.
It's going back. It's going to go again. Now, this hitting on what you're talking about, problems. We got to go to the root. And a lot of people, we have been taught to just dance on the surface. You know what I mean? We're not going deep enough. When you're drilling for oil, you got to drill deep. They say when they first was drilling for oil, they kept not getting, they wasn't getting oil, but they kept spending a lot of money, meaning stuff. And one day they hit. But what it was, they wasn't drilling deep enough. So we got to go deep because we got some deep issues. We got deep scars. We got, like I was talking about earlier about the ghosts. These ghosts keeps coming up in these relationships. You know what I'm saying? We broken to pieces. And then, like Erykah Badu said, the song Bag Lady.
Bag Lady.
Why you walking around all them bags? She was talking about issues.
Yeah.
We say issues.
But that's what I'm saying. Everybody has them, though. That's the whole
right.
piece, though, right? No matter
There you
where
go.
we are right now, right? No matter
right.
how enlightened that we are and how much we know and how much knowledge we have and how much straight from
That's
the
right.
streets and think about a radio and keep on pushing,
Mhm.
still got problems. Still have issues, man. I was telling you earlier today, man, of a conversation we're having about the stuff that just come and just bam, 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 bam. Again, because
Right.
you want to make a quest of, I want to make a difference in the world. I want to be positive.
Right.
I want to uplift didn't carries.
Mm-hmm.
You actually think nothing negative is going to come your way again? You actually think a challenge is not going to present itself again? But at the same time, though, you know how to deal with that challenge, and you don't wear that on your face and on your shoulder, right? Because you have an understanding, again, of who you are, and you realize, you know what, though, I know that's just par for the course. Let's go. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep on pushing. Let's not be defeated by this trial. Let's not be defined by this trial. Let's be determined to move forward and move beyond this trial. How about that? Right? So we all are going to be faced with our level of adversity, but at the same time, though, that what is in us will determine how we respond to that. And that no matter what that individual is, male, female, young, black, white, black, Mexican, Chinese, or polka dot, it don't matter. Right? At the end of the day, what is in you will determine how you handle those situations. So if you handle those situations badly, then you have an internal mechanism that handles issues badly. Then you need to fix that, not the situation, because as we said, problems and situations are going to come, right? But the constant is going to be you. How do you deal with them? How do you stand? Do you push back, or do you get pushed down, or do you get pushed over, or do you get pushed around, or do you push back? Which one is it, right? You know what I mean, though? Again, solution oriented. Oh man, it ain't gonna never get better. Problem oriented, right?
And then
perspective, man.
And our problem's not bad, as you were saying too, because even in the problem or the situation is a solution. You know what I mean? I remember, I think I was reading, Thomas Edison. That's the one who did the light bulb, and he was saying that he made mistakes. He said, "I just made a bunch of mistakes to finally come to the conclusion how to come with the right solution." Yeah. But it was his perception of it. He didn't look at it as a failure. That's what he's basically saying. You know, I just kept finding different ways to come up with a better solution. But really, he was making the mistakes trying to find it. So a lot of times, this stuff is about perspective. I remember I used to think, man, it's a rainy day. You know, look at the bad weather. And don't get me wrong. You know, some stuff is real bad. You know, like we were talking about the hurricane earlier. But just because it rains, who has given us the idea that rain is bad? We think it's a bad, might have a bad weekend because it's raining. But I looked at it.
You're just gonna have a wet weekend.
I like rain. You know what I mean? And then we need rain to grow. So see, it's this perception sometimes that we're given or we're taught, and that's how we tend to look at things. But
exactly,
you know,
it's all about perspective.
Not bad. Yeah, perspective, bro.
It's all about perspective, man. I mean, think about it, though, okay? We talk about the storm and Harvey and stuff like that, right? Okay, now, just a few weeks before, it's too hot. This sun is too hot. It is too hot outside. Now, when the sun came out, all I seen on people on social media, the sun is out. So happy to see the sun. Love to see the sun. Thank God for the sun. It's the same sun was before. But because you came through a catastrophic event and the sun was gone, well, you couldn't see the sun, and all you had this rain and the elements and all this stuff and all this flooding. Now the sun, the same sun that was too hot, that got on your nerve, was a welcome sight. Right?
That's right.
The same sun, all about the perspective, because again, this thing called water that we're told to drink and we're told to look at it and how beautiful it is and all that stuff can destroy something and make you look forward to the same thing, right, that you thought was getting on your nerve. Just like in a relationship, right? Just like in a relationship. Oh, you getting on my nerve. I can't stand you. I want somebody else in my life. Knock yourself out. Now you have somebody that may not be as financial savvy, but beating you for breakfast, dinner, and supper. Right? So again, we have to be careful what we ask for, and as far as our perspective, and just appreciate it all. Just appreciate it all and take whatever we need to take from that, and then move on from there, right? You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and then just make this gumbo, right? And then just keep moving on from there, man, because again, it's not a one-size-fits-all to this thing. And I think a lot of time that's the reason why you have students make good grades in school and bad grades. You giving the same curriculum. You teaching everybody the same way. You can't. Everybody doesn't have the same mind. Just like rearing kids. You can't rear them all the same way. This kid may require this, and this other kid may require that. but you're still dealing with the same program, the same vernacular, right? We need to update some of these things. We need to have some updates and some take some of this old information out and replace it with some new information. This one-size-fits-all approach isn't going to work. Again, I think sometimes that's a part of the problem, and we're thinking it's a solution. Hey, I'm offering a great curriculum. I'm offering a great service. I'm offering a great knowledge. I'm being a great parent, right? And we think we're doing great, right? But at the same time, let someone come and say, hey, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Everyone is different. You got to handle them different. Just because they're a child don't mean you handle that child like this other child, right? Because you can say one thing to a child. Have you ever seen a child where you can just fuss at them and they just cry like it's just the end of the world?
Right,
you know what I mean? And you ain't laid a hand on them. You got some you can fuss, and they look do. I hear you not. Right, so it's just all about the individual, and so now you have to have a different approach with the one if you yell and they cry versus the one that if you're speaking they're not understanding what you're saying. So you still got to reach both of them. The same person, the same delivery, the same message that you want to teach, but you got to find a way to reach both of them. Right? In their own individual way. So that's what I'm saying about parenting and leading and managing and all this kind of stuff and entrepreneurship and all that. You managing more than just a job and stuff. You managing people, emotions, and you better be within yourself, right? Because you never know what situation you're going to be presented with. Again, solution, problem.
Right. And that's you know, it's hard to everything, bro. And one thing about people, like you say, everybody different. One, you might get a response out of this person that you won't get a response out of this person. So you gotta take that into consideration when you're dealing with people. And I want to say what you was talking about earlier about being grateful, bro. You know, a lot of times, man, we take a lot of things for granted, bro, until we don't have it or it's removed
until we don't have it.
From us. And then, like you saying, relationships. And we was talking about that wood pile earlier. The brother was saying that, you know, we think, oh, this person right here, I'm going to get rid of this person, I'm going to end this. And he compared it to a wood pile that just to go get another piece of wood from that pile.
Me and my dad were talking about that on Sunday. We were talking about the same situation, man.
Yeah.
You know, you can holler, woe is me, and this, that, and the third or whatever, but guess what? You're going to get some of the same stuff. What you going to do?
That's right.
You know?
So, you know, but it's this idea of perfection. This image kills, bro. I realized that a long time ago. All this picture perfect, because everything is not what it seems. You know what I mean? You just need to be true to who you are, because everybody got situations. But again, the problem is, the solution is in the problem. When you got two different people coming together and we both, it's two different individuals who are progressing work, and you got different values, different cultures. You know what I mean? You coming with a different mindset. Then, like we talking about the bag lady idea, you know, being in relationships have been broken. All that's added on. Then we got to go back to slavery. We got to consider these things. We was broken and changed. All these different things are going on inside of us. So here you got this coming together, two different individuals. So it's got to be some give and take. It's gonna be some pulling and pushing. You know what I mean? Like magnets. You know what I mean? So you got to grow from that, and you got to adjust to one another. But you can do it. But we got to be willing to compromise. You know, you got to give something up, surrender. And a lot of times, this is where it gets problematic here. You know, we don't, I was taught this way. You know what I mean? My big mama taught me like this.
And we don't budge. We don't budge from that.
And we don't budge.
We don't budge
from that. And then we wonder why.
It's just who I am.
These marriages are lasting. You know, divorce rate is so high. 3 years.
The wedding, the wedding planning and everything is longer than a freaking marriage, man. You know,
that's right.
You know, you're right, because individuals come in with their own way of doing things, and they're not going to budge from that, because you know why? They're adults and they're grown, and they have their own way of doing things. And again, that's why I say they ought to call it compromise instead of marriage, because at one point in time, somebody is compromising. Somebody is compromising. Someone is, and you're asking that person to compromise. And I think in relationships, you got to be mindful of how much are you asking that other person to compromise. How much are you asking the other person to compromise? And would you compromise as much if the shoe was on the other foot. You know what I mean? So I think sometimes we have to be mindful of those things in relationship and not just be selfish. Well, this is it, this is what I wanted, this how it is, and you do what you got to do then or whatever. Then no, rather than saying, you know what can we do to change? What can we do to compromise? What can we do to help one another? To, okay, you know what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you compromising. The Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's on me. It's all about teamwork. We say teamwork makes the dream work. Right?
That's
right. You know, it's all about teamwork. It's all about a united front. And that's why I think a lot of times those issues fail again. Problem versus solution. You have one approach, you have another approach. And then it never becomes a united front. Hey, we have our differences, but we need to agree on this. We can disagree in private, but we need to agree on this in public to put this united front out to be a part of the solution. Because if not, then it's always going to be problem. Because guess what? You can have one side play against the other because there's a united front. If you create a united front, don't matter how you say it. No. Doesn't matter how you do it. No. Ain't happening. This is the united front. And that's why I think